beloved family. Um, it's your shaman, your sister in spirit, and your friend Alicia here. This is my first time using my headset, so I wanted to check in and see how's the sound. If anybody's willing to drop a comment down and let me know how the sound is, that would be awesome. I appreciate you. So today we are going to be talking about the energy that's going on. We're going to be pulling a card for the collective, and we're going to be getting a couple of tools today because of what's been going on with the energy in general. Alrighty, so thank you all who are here with me. I decided to use my headset because I am softening. I'm allowing my voice to be a little softer today. Let me know how it sounds. So, where do I start? First of all, how is everybody feeling? There is this huge collective soul retrieval that is happening at this time. And like, what exactly is a soul retrieval? Well, this is something that that people can be trained to do. So as a shamanic practitioner, this is a service that I provide. But this is happening for us at a huge collective level because of what's going on in our timeline. So of course, we just went through Easter. And for those of you that actually don't know, I'm here to kind of invite some knowledge, which is that during this time of year, lots of people all over the planet are celebrating something. Okay, so here we are as a collective consciousness, as a collective species in celebration. All right, and on top of that, we had that amazing full moon, and we are experiencing a lot of electromagnetic activity happening from some solar storms that are going on from our sun. So our sun is kind of having these little flares. And for those of us that are energetically sensitive, we are experiencing those flares as sometimes the spiritual community will call it downloads, but these could be considered epiphanies or revelations. Like, we're having all of these like deep dive, like aha moments, maybe about our past, maybe about our present. And these things are some of the things that happen when we have a soul retrieval. Okay, so what does a soul retrieval do? What it really does is it allows us to heal some of our childhood wounds. And once we kind of bring back some of those soul pieces of our childhood wounds, then we can collect some more pieces to bring back our original self. So if we lost joy, if we lost confidence, if we lost inspiration, if we're lacking any of these things, then these are some of the pieces that would be retrieved, so that way we can more embody who we naturally are. So how do soul retrievals function in general? Basically, what happens is uncomfortable, or an extreme word that's used a lot right now, a traumatic experience will happen. And it doesn't matter whether the trauma was a car accident or just like listening to your parents argue and it made you feel really uncomfortable. The focus is that something like hurt us. Something was making us feel uncomfortable or hurt. And when we feel that we cannot handle the severity of the situation, we'll kind of like space out, black out, and we'll remove that piece, that experience from us, and kind of put it in shamanic terms into the lower realm, which is the subconscious mind. We'll kind of like store it somewhere deep inside of us, so that way we don't have to experience the depth of pain that comes from that experience. Okay. So again, it could be something as serious as the death of a parent. It could be something as serious as the loss of a loved one, a major car accident, something like this. It could be as light, which is, I'm trying to be careful of my words because I don't want this to seem like, oh, that's nothing. It could be something as on the opposite end, maybe somebody saying something a little mean to you, whether they meant it intentionally or not, depending on how you receive that message. Okay, so recognizing that sometimes things happen in our lives that just really make us uncomfortable, that really hurt us. And if we don't process it in that moment, then that experience kind of gets stored into the body, into the subconscious, into the lower world, the realm. Okay, so naturally, I think it's great to know that we don't actually need a shaman to like come in and do a soul retrieval. Actually, as we do our own self work, as we go through our history, as we deal with our emotions and really allow ourselves to figure out like, where did this happen before? Like, where is this coming from? Why am I responding so big to this? We can retrieve our own pieces through the journey of self-awareness, through the journey of spiritual development. However, if we find that we're putting in a lot of work and we're not getting the benefits, it's like I feel like I'm constantly trying to like overcome this self-confidence thing. I feel like I'm constantly trying to overcome this self-worth thing, then probably the wound's a little bit deeper or we've worked extra hard to hide it. And so then we would have our guides, we would have a practitioner come in and retrieve that piece for us, reintegrate it into the subtle body so that way we can begin processing that again. All right. So healing those child wounds. So what does this have to do with all of this? This is happening on a collective level, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Um it's been happening within myself as well. And so I really want to talk about what's been going on in my journey just for a minute. So hang with me as we will get to the card reading. I know a lot of you love that. But this is a chance for me to really show up, and I'm here to practice it with all of you who are here now, for all of you who are going to be watching later. Um, One of the amazing things that I got to experience was I actually had a soul retrieval last night. I went into a state of meditation and had the opportunity to retrieve another piece of myself, and the piece of myself that I received was this coming back into the original. Um, what it allowed me to do in my meditation, my third eye has really been opening up. And what I really want to talk about is understanding that the soul retrieval is in the lower realm. What else is in the lower realm? Right? Like Hades is in the lower realm, some lower vibrational entities is in the lower realm, right? So what we have the opportunity to recognize right now is that some of us may be feeling like we're under spiritual attack. Some of us might be feeling confusion, anger, rage, envy, greed, lust, a lot of those like seven deadly sins type of thing going on. um and some of it may, and for those of us that have are very experienced in shoving those things down, like I don't want to feel this, I'm not going to feel this, I'm not going to feel this, be mindful of that, because we want to allow these things to kind of come up and come out, because they're going to have a lot of wisdom in there. You're going to be able to see like, oh wow, I really think that this came from here, that this came from here. Okay. Also, when we're talking about spiritual attack, I want to talk about portals that are going on. I had the opportunity to see that there are some portals that are open, that have been opened, that are allowing for these psychic attacks to happen. Okay. So for those of us in the spiritual community that are aware of this, maybe some of you are not, um, like spiritual attack is real, spirits are real, and some of them are going to be a lot more helpful and some of them are going to be a lot more menacing, and they all come to create balance. So I'm not going to use the word evil, I'm not going to use the word bad, because I don't believe that. I do believe that sometimes we're afraid, and that's okay. Fear is one thing, but what they have come to bring as these portals are open and these energies are now kind of running across this space with these solar flares and with the full moon and with this Christ energy that we're kind of passing through, this Christ consciousness that we're passing through. What we're being invited to do is to use Christ consciousness, the consciousness of love, the consciousness of unity and compassion, to not fight these demons, but to love them. To love them only because it is the light and the love that will, like, shadows can't exist inside of the light. If we are fighting these deep wounds with war, with hatred, then we're just adding more darkness there. Does that make sense when I use that visualization? Okay. So this time, energetically, universally, collectively, is super, super powerful. And for those of us that are classic overthinkers, be mindful of your thoughts. Okay. Remember that you are not the thought. You're not responsible for the thought. The thoughts are just happening. They could be your soul's whispers of trying to create revelations and aha moments. So do not identify with them. Look at them from the perspective of the observer. So, how do we look at it from the perspective of the observer? First of all, we have to separate ourselves from the thought. How do we do that naturally? We breathe. Okay, take a breath. Get into your body, anchor down. Okay, becoming the observer. How else can we do that? We can literally write the thought out. What are the thoughts that you're having? Well, I'm thinking A, B, C, and D. And then saying, that's interesting. What an interesting perspective. Because what we want to do is we want to expand ourselves outside of the thought. We can really become identified with a lot of this stuff. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. What if that was just a thought that just keeps looping inside of your head? It's not even what you believe anymore. You don't believe that. You don't know that to be true. You're just having a thought loop. Yeah. And so the light, the consciousness, the being that you are, has this opportunity right now and always and forever. Let me just say, I think that sometimes I don't want to be one of those people that are like, you can only follow the patterns of the moon. I don't believe that, you know. But I also know that as an organism on this planet, that I am operating under forces, vibrations much larger than me. And so I love to create ritual and create sanctuary by understanding that. It makes it so much more deep when I feel like I'm a part of something big. Mm? But that doesn't mean that you have to disempower yourself and be like, oh, I have to wait until the next full moon to do that. I don't believe that at all. You are the moon. You are the full moon. Yeah. So jumping back into it, like really taking a moment to separate yourself from thoughts. So that way, these lower vibrational beings that might be taunting you, these demons that might be living inside of your spirit, inside of the subconscious mind, okay, can come forward. So that way you can shine your light upon it and increase your awareness. Yeah. And move through this so that way we can continue to heal. Retrieve that piece of yourself. So, we're going to go through a breathing exercise real quick because I want to give this to you. This is a breathing exercise that I will do with a lot of my coaching clients. This is how I love to start a lot of my sessions. Okay, so when we're talking about the breath, okay, we're going to take a deep breath here as we're transitioning from like, whoa, that was a lot of information about what's going on, into practice. Okay, so feeling your body first, right? Anchoring down into the seat of you or to the feet of you. And taking a nice deep breath through the nose. Sighing and exhaling out of the mouth. We're going to do 2 more times, okay? And last one. Cool. Feeling the effects of that. So when we are talking about the breath, Daniela, I see you. I am the moon. Yeah. Yes, you are. So when we are talking about the breath, the one thing that we can realize is that there are a few different kinds of breath. Okay, we have the inhale, we have the exhale, and then we have the inhale retention, and we have the exhale retention. Okay, now there are also different speeds to breath. We have the quick paced breath, we have the medium paced breath, and we have the deep, slow breaths. We also have different dimensions of breath. Didn't know you were going to be schooled today. Welcome to class. Okay, we have different dimensions of breath. We have clavicular breath, which is only going to go to the clavicle, to the collarbones. We have we have breath that goes into the chest. Okay, so it only goes up into the upper part of the body. Then we have those deep diaphragmatic breaths, which pushes down on the diaphragm and allows the belly to inflate like a balloon. Okay. Then we have something called a whole body breath. This is something that babies do whenever they're first born. You'll see them, they kind of breathe like they breathe with their whole body. You can kind of see their shoulders moving, their hips will kind of move when they breathe. That is a full body breath. Okay. So recognizing that we have the clavicular breath, we have the breath that goes into the upper chest, we have the diaphragmatic breath, we have full body breath. Okay. Thinking about the dimensions of breath in terms of the front, the sides, and the back as well. That also creates a little bit of visualization. So the breath work, the short breath work that I love to do is a combination of the quick, the medium, and the slow. Also thinking about the two places where we can breathe, the nose and the mouth. Okay. Recognizing that these are different as well. And then using an inhale retention and an exhale retention in it as well. So what does it look like? Typically what I would suggest is 30 breaths, 30 quick paced breaths in and out of the nose, 10 medium paced breaths in the nose and out of the mouth, and then 3 slow breaths in the nose and out of the nose, the fourth breath being an inhale retention, and the fifth breath being an exhale retention. Okay. So I'm going to do that here with you. Okay. So we're going to do 30 quick breaths in and out of the nose, grounding down, feeling the body. Okay. And it sounds like this. You can see my chest pumping up and down, and it's because I'm engaging my belly. So I'm forcing it out through the belly. Okay. So then I do the 10 medium paced breaths in the nose and out of the mouth, which sound like this. And then I go into the 5 slow breaths, which the 3 filling all of those spaces. Okay. Last full breath here. And then we're going to inhale and hold. Inhale. Exhaling. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale fully. And we're going to hold for 5 seconds. Inhaling in. Balancing up the breath, tuning back into the body here. So this is the breath work that I like to do, and I will just go through it. Hold. Hold. Okay. Yeah. Super nice. This helps balance out the energy body. Pranayama, this is a yoga technique to help bring balance into the masculine and feminine energies which reside within the body, the sun and moon energy, the Ida and the Pingala. Okay. So this is how we bring some balance. And also there are different breaths that can help clear out mental chaos, like a little bit of it'll move some of the energy that can get built up into the head, which can cause a little bit of confusion and distraction and chaos in the mind as well. That forced breath, that quick forced breath, is one of the breaths that will help with that. Okay. So grounding back in, this is for me, talking about for those of you that might just be tuning in, we're talking about the energies that are going on in the heavens, the time of year as a collective that we are here. We are talking about the collective soul retrieval, which is going to be bringing up some childhood revelations, some aha moments might be coming up for you, allowing them to come up and process, allowing them to be, and using the light, using Christ consciousness, using these solar flares to allow yourself to come into peace, come into practice, come into a new sense and a sense of being, so that way you can continue to move forward and anchoring down this leveling up that we are going through as a collective consciousness. Alrighty, we went through some breath work. This is going to help just bring us back into center, balance out the masculine and feminine energies inside of the body, and allow us to really handle some of the aha moments that we're having, some of the thoughts that are coming up. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get into the card read. I'm going to be using my Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, which I love so much. And that card actually came out earlier, the Soul Retrieval card, which is why I wanted to talk about that. Also, really thinking about right now is not the time to be scrambling around and trying to do more than what we need. Now is the time to really be present, to take it easy, to soften and to be gentle. How do we soften and be gentle? First of all, we tune into the breath. Second of all, we really tune into the body. How is your body feeling? Can you walk softer? Can you sit softer? Can you speak softer? This is one of the reasons, like I had said, I had pulled out my mic today, just because I don't feel that it is appropriate for my body to be tense and holding on to tension, because then it's going to be difficult for my subtle body to receive some of the light codes that are coming in through these solar flares. Okay. So trying to keep my body as relaxed as possible, so that way I can really absorb and be vulnerable and to let in a lot of the amazing energies that are coming in. I was also reminded that we are coming into another retrograde. So knowing that retrograde energy can always be a little wild. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining. I see some people are popping on. Perfect timing, because it is time for the card read, and so many cards are wanting to come out. So I'm just going to gently, I know we have a lot of messages, and towards the end, I promise that I will go ahead and channel some stuff, but we are looking for some very clear messages for the collective. I'm looking for maybe 1 or 2 cards. And they came out. Cool. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that. What's up, team? Ooh, you guys came popping in, and these cards were like, everyone's here. So the 2 cards that came out, we have the staff and we have the medicine wheel, which medicine wheel. We'll talk about this. I know what this is talking about because it's been coming up a lot for me. Okay. We'll read from the deck. We'll read from the book, and then I'll go ahead and channel. I'm also going to be pulling a couple of cards from my Journey of Love deck because I'm all about love over here, or learning about it. Yeah. So funny. I spoke a lot softer and slower on my live video last night. Yeah. Listen, that's amazing that you are intuitively doing what that's the message that I've been getting. So I'm super glad to hear that whenever we can like tune in to the intuitive knowing, right? What's up? What's up, love? Can we get one card? And she said yes. The cloak. Okay. Alrighty. So the staff. The staff is a symbol of authority. It holds the power to temper extremes. The staff helps you find the right source of action, the way of the middle, and aids you to maintain your balance after you begin walking in that direction. Moses carried a serpent staff through the desert, and with it he could summon the power of nature to heal or call plagues. The staff reminds you of the impermanence of all things and that your authority must come from a deep longing to serve. You know how to flow easily between polarities, how to weigh all possibilities, and instinctively select the right path. Trust your inner wisdom and take the first step on a journey that your heart has already embarked on. Use the power of the staff to unite what appears to be divided, to find that delicate balance between will and surrender. You are caught in a delicate balance between opposing forces, between masculine and feminine, between action and non action. Use this to your advantage, as there can be no day without night, no low without high, no wrong without right. And this is the time to take corrective action, beginning with your beliefs about what needs to be fixed or repaired. Let destiny take its course, nudging it slightly along. So I feel like this had a lot to do with what I had spoke about earlier with this portal energy. Yeah. Like there is some darkness, there is some pain, there is some things that are coming up, which again is this collective soul retrieval. How do we use the polarity of the darkness, of the pain in order to bring up new revelation, new aha moments, so that way we continue to move forward in the direction that is right for us, right? And nobody can tell you what is right for you, but we can use the breath to bring us in deeper to self, so that way we can figure out what is right for me here. Okay. So now we're going to read the card about the medicine wheel. Okay. So the medicine wheel is a sacred hoop with 4 cardinal directions well marked. It represents the cycle of life, the cycle of nature, and the circular pattern of our cosmos. It has been used for millennia in indigenous cultures to bring harmony and well being to the village. Its directions symbolize the 4 steps the shaman takes to become a person of power and wisdom. To manifest clear blue skies in your life, it is important that you take a look at certain aspects of your being. Enter the medicine wheel from the south and reflect on how you are still clinging to events from the past, right? That childhood wound or whatever else might be coming up for you. Continue to the west and notice which relationships are toxic and drain your energy. Step into the north and ask yourself, do I know my passion, and show it? And end in the east direction, visualizing how you want to live the next chapter of your life. It is up to you how much time you spend in each direction, minutes, days, or months. I want to say that again. Minutes, days, or months. It's up to you to choose. But when you are done, make sure to step outside of the wheel and contemplate your journey. You must not postpone your healing journey any longer. It can be difficult to start, but you must find the inner strength to step into the medicine wheel, or you may lose your opportunity. There are many ways and many paths. Choose the one you resonate most with. Once you have found it, the only mistake you can make is not to follow it. Go boldly. Okay. And where is she? Thank you. And the last card is Cloak from that love. Around you is a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it has served you for a time as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside to find what you truly feel, what you truly need, to find yourself after being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Hmm. Yet the time is fast approaching where you will no longer require that cloak. You have attained an integration within, a knowledge of self that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You have learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in and play. The message that this oracle brings you is that you can safely release the forms of security that you once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional. Mm. Your boundaries are so functional that you can enter into relationships. Let me turn the page. With more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need when you need it without having to withdraw from the relationship entirely. It's time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you whilst actively engaging in deeper relationships. You'll have fun. Loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and no place to go. Yeah. When I am intuitively reading this, like we've already touched on this at the beginning. So for those of you that have been here from the beginning, like I don't mean to like what do they call it, like beat a dead horse or anything, but like this is the message, and the cards are here to really clarify it. There was a lot of talk about the duality, a lot of talk about integration, a lot of talk about really the medicine wheel is really creating sacred space, like really integrating with all that is, right? We're talking about the north, the east, the south, the west. We're talking about the different medicines that come from it. The medicine wheel itself has all those different colors. If you notice the outside of it, the red, the yellow, the black, and the white, they represent people. The red people, the yellow, the black, and the white. They represent the different nations. They represent a lot of things. I also love to think like the duality always kind of like goes into like masculine and energy, but what about the masculine and feminine energy within those masculine and feminine energies, right? Like this constant yin yang, this constant unfolding. So know that you are being fully supported, that you are fully powerful, that you are a sovereign being. And what you have called into your life at this point of your journey is to heal, is to grow. And I know that sometimes the mind, which is not you, but a part of you, the mind will say, I'm not ready yet, or one day I'll be ready. But you've already started the journey. You're already ready. You were ready a long time ago. You've already been embarking on this. And it's simply the mind telling you, I haven't gone there yet, or I'm not ready yet. You are ready. You're always ready. because you are a soul, a divine being that has come here to experience things. If you are not growing, you are dead. Because everything on this planet just grows. It's just what it does here without any effort. By simply being, your beingness is the growth. It's undeniable. And that is definitely represented in this physical body, which continues to what? Grow and age. So I'm almost hearing like, stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting your readiness. Stop doubting your ability. You've already done it and you are continuing to do it. Will you give yourself that recognition? Will you give yourself that acknowledgement? Because when you do, when you put your awareness and your intention and acknowledgement in something, just like if we were to go out and acknowledge the plant that it's growing, what is it going to do? It's going to grow more. It's going to grow stronger, bigger, more fruitful. Yeah. You deserve that acknowledgement. You are powerful beyond measure. Beyond measure. Like, that's a phrase, like, you're powerful beyond measure. You are powerful. You are so powerful. We can't measure it. I can't measure it. Okay. But can you accept that about yourself? I feel right now that is what is happening. That is what this collective soul retrieval is about. We're healing these childhood wounds. We're healing these past wounds, because they're not just from childhood. I have wounds from 2 years ago, I have wounds from 5 years ago. We're healing these. They're coming up to the surface. And then once we heal those pieces of ourselves, then we can call in those more original pieces, the pieces of love, the pieces of joy, the pieces of bliss, connection. Okay. Because those wounds are like an infection. Okay, they pus, they pour out. And even if you put some good stuff in there, the infection's still going to try to fight to survive. It's like a bacteria, it's like a virus. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to put medicine on it. Whoever said that, you're so delicious. Thank you. We want to put the medicine on it. We want to put the staff down. Put the medicine on your wounds. So that way you can put down the barriers, all of these blocks, all of these protective things that you're doing for yourself, which is a lot of ego stuff. It's a lot of overthinking. It's a lot of guardedness, You have the cloak there for a reason, because you have a wound. The Band-Aid's there because there was a wound there. And now it is time to heal the wound, so that way you can take the Band-Aid off and show up as your full self, which deserves to live and breathe in this moment, in this time, and forever. You're that special. And I know sometimes when people hear that, they're like, shut up. Like, you're not, just like, ew, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, well, growth is right on that edge of discomfort. It's okay. It feels uncomfortable. It's okay that it feels uncomfortable to hear that you are amazing and powerful. It's not my job to keep you in your comfort zone spiritually. It's my job to push the limits here, because I know who you are. I've experienced you, and I can feel all of your energies here now. Amazing, brilliant people that have so much to offer, that are offering so much, and they don't even see it. They're not even looking at themselves, because they are using the cloak to hide from themselves in the first place. You're hiding from you. For those of you that feel like you need any kind of support through this journey, know that I'm here. Okay, I really am. You can schedule with me at any time, and we will work all of this out. We will talk about it. We'll kind of get some clarity. We'll move some energy from around you that might be built up. Other than that, this feels complete. I love you all so much. And take it easy. I have to take it easy these days. I'm getting sent all over the place. If you catch me in your dreams, tell my highest self I said, what up? she's out here doing some crazy work. So I love you all. And don't forget to breathe, meditate, don't identify with your thoughts. Allow these aha moments, these revelations to come forward so that way you can decide whether or not you want to live under those systems anymore, under those belief systems. Okay. You don't have to if you don't want to. And it does take a little transition period, like an integration period, going from like, wow, I thought this was truth, but now this is the truth. But, or this is what I thought was true, and this is what I'm choosing to believe is true now. It does take a little bit of time. But with the energies, these revelations are going to help just like help you step into that. All right. So I love you. I honor you. Thank you so much for joining. Peace and love. Bye.